Good evening. Wow, you look wonderful down there. I feel fantastic up here. He lied. When Alan asked me if I'd do this, I had just lost the Speaker Factor in London. And I thought, what am I going to do to get on that stage at the PSA Mega? So I accepted this challenge to get up here. I got home. The first thing I thought, strangely, was, what am I going to wear? And I must remember to take my head polish with me. Unfortunately, I forgot the head polish, so you'll have to make do with me without the polished head this evening. I also put the wrong trousers into my bag this morning. I bought these trousers about 5 years ago by mistake. When I got them home, I found out that they had an elasticated waist. I thought, I'm not old enough to wear trousers with an elasticated waist. This morning I was packing in a hurry and I dragged the first pair of trousers that I saw out of the wardrobe, and I have trousers on with an elasticated waist. So all the ladies in the room who were looking at me and thinking, well, maybe I might after a few drinks. You're now looking at me and thinking, no. I couldn't be doing with those elasticated waist trousers. I can do with the bald, but I can't quite manage the elasticated waist trousers. Unless, in the unlikely event that there's somebody here with both a bald and an elasticated waist fetish, which I have to admit is extremely unlikely, but if that is the case, please approach me quietly afterwards. We may find we have something in common. Then I thought, what am I going to talk about? I thought, well, I might talk about some of the failed relationships that I've had. I'm currently single. And a lot of you are thinking, I'm not surprised. Back in 1999, I think it was, I just got on the internet and I found myself irresistibly drawn to chat rooms. Does anybody else remember chat rooms? I know no one's going to put their hand up, but some of you want to. I met a lady in a chat room. She lived in Scotland. Her name was Liz. And I haven't got time to tell you the whole story, but she eventually came down and spent the weekend in my house. I live in Peterborough. She came down for the weekend for 3 days. She had a suitcase like you would take on 3 weeks holiday. And she wasn't really that kind of person, I didn't think. I said to her, what have you got in that suitcase? She said, I've got a present in there for you. It transpired over the weekend that the present in this large box ended up under my bed. She said, on Christmas morning, I want you to phone me and open that box while you're on the phone to me. So stupidly I did. And in the box was something to put in every room in my house to remind me of her. A little bit later on, I thought I'll give her another chance. I'll go up to Scotland and spend the weekend with her. I hired a car while I was up there. Went up on the train, hired a car. It was a Vauxhall. I've never driven a Vauxhall before. I put her in the Vauxhall. I drove forwards into a car parking space. And then when we came out of the shop we'd been in, I couldn't find reverse gear. So I had to push the car backwards, go back to the car hire place and ask the girl in the car hire place to show me where reverse gear was. You might not be surprised to hear that that relationship also failed. Many years later, only about 6 or 7 years ago, my ex-sister-in-law introduced me to her sister, who looked quite like my ex-sister-in-law, who I had fancied for quite a long time, even when she was still married to my brother. Has anybody else here ever fancied their sister-in-law or brother-in-law? Once again, none of you are going to put your hands up. But I thought, well, if I can't go out with her, I can go out with her sister and use my imagination. After a particularly fantastic weekend we'd spent together, with me using my imagination, for all I know, her using hers, I got home. And I thought I'd just check Facebook before the days of smartphones, so I had to wait till I got home. See if she's put anything on Facebook about the weekend. She had. She had updated her relationship status to "it's complicated." But the funniest one of all relates to my ex-wife. I met my ex-wife 25 years ago. We were married for 5 years. The first weekend she came to spend the weekend with me in London, she asked me if I had a hairdryer. And I still married her.
Brian Frost, thank you very much, Brian. Thank you. Brian Frost.